Now, as soon as I figure out, see if this image actually appears. Alright, come on, it's not playing around. Alright, good, it showed up. Finally. Now for the signature word. Get the hell off my lawn. Alright. Now let's see. Oh look, somebody actually rated up my comment about why do people talk shit about Honda Civics, yet they save the most gas compared to most other cars. It's actually true, your Honda will take you farther than most cars today. As long as you know how to drive your car and you're not dogging it out at every corner, yeah, it'll last you a few years. A nice, good little chunk sum. Just don't get why everybody has to talk shit about the Honda. And it was likely their first car pick, too. For a while. And not every Honda Civic or every Honda Accord is a race car. It takes a lot of engineering to even get it there. More specifically, it could even take $250,000 to turn any kind of vehicle that is related with Honda into a race car. But it takes an even larger amount of money to turn any kind of vehicle that's associated with. Well, actually, it takes about $180,000 to turn, and this is just for NASCAR spec. It takes $180,000 to turn a 1990s, I think it's a Chevrolet. It's not even a Cavalier. It's just a Camaro. A 1990s Camaro can be broken down and turned into a stock car for NASCAR for $180,000. If you wanted to turn a Honda Civic into a stock car for NASCAR, the chassis would need to be extended. It would need to have a rolling cage extending from front to back. A special high-impact cage would be the way to go. It would probably sufficiently cost less to transform a Honda into a NASCAR race car than it would to transform any other vehicle. The NSX-R, and you have the NSX Integra Type R. Two separate vehicles, two separate functions. Just different or similar names. Point being is a lot of people like to talk crap about the Honda Civic, yet their parents drove the car. So you gotta think about gas mileage over style. Your Camaro is nice, but I don't think wasting $90 every week is gonna be worth it. Especially with gas prices that are so high. And most people would call the gas prices in today's society pretty much grave robbery. How did I have a weird feeling there was a bigger tank than me there? Man, just right on the money.
Attention to the designated grid square.
It's just so weird, but I get that weird feeling that, you know, just getting stared at. Oh, is that so? And my bullet gets completely destroyed. even though I seen it clearly leave the barrel. But no, because I'm dead, the bullet automatically blows itself up. Some believable bull crap that is. I already had breakfast and the game's already starting to do its cheating BS. I'm getting real tired of that shit. Just because a person dies doesn't mean the bullet dies with them. An object in motion will remain in motion until something stops it. So if I fired that big ass bullet and got a direct one shot, one kill, that bullet is expected to land at the exact trajectory. It is not going to stop and say, oh, a person that shot me died. I need to stop moving and just fall to the ground. No physical object in history has ever stated that. The bigger the thing is. Oh, you want me to pay attention to the map? Why don't you do so? You're right there, Anne Frank. Stop expecting me to help you, man. No more locked doors. Hey, thanks for covering up my line of sight, Leopard. You want me to blow off the back of your head while I'm at it? I wish there was some friendly fire in his mo right now, so that way I could. Where are you going, sweetie? Hell no. You ain't going nowhere, boy.
Attention to the map.
Fire! Come on, dude. You're taking forever to reload that baby. Fire! I want to get out of here as soon as possible, dude. Stupid pile of crap Japanese jet. Really? Nobody that's a fucking SPAA fucking shot him down. You have got to be kidding me. You're supposed to be a freaking... Man, just straight up, fuck you, dog. You didn't do your fucking job. You're a goddamn SPAA. You're more worried about fucking just doing nothing than blowing up the only other target that was in the air. You have got to be kidding me, dude. I hope you don't waste your time going air, because you clearly wasted my time with that. I'm gonna fly in a jet when it's faster to use the anti-aircraft gun to shoot down the vehicle. Because to go jet means that you're running the 65-40. The 40% chance you're gonna shoot down your target, and a 65% chance your target's gonna make it to its freaking drop zone. Never take a 65-40 deal unless you're the one that's got the 65%. Look at that shit. Not a single one.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
I ain't even gonna waste my time.
And victory will surely be ours.
Not a single fucking one. And this is kind of the reason why I hate the War Thunder community at the current moment. I do not want shit to do with this community.
Attention to the map.
Look at that garbage. That fucking hot garbage. You're on my team, dog? You're not on my team. You can't afford to be on my team. this point in life. Come on, dog. I literally shot him right above the turret. Where's the high explosive damage? Where's the realism where it's actually doing its job? Dude, you're a goddamn moron, aren't you? You turned your back to the enemy? That's not very intelligent. Do not hide behind me. Because you clearly deserve every piece of this flak that's coming your way. How are you going to turn your back towards the enemy? Like right now, I'm speechless at the dumbassity that I just witnessed. I'm going to hide from the enemy, but I'm going to have my fucking back turned towards them. You're fucking trash, dude. Who the hell goes to the combat zone and shoots the other way? It's like saying, I'm going to go to Afghanistan and participate in Operation Desert Storm, but the whole time I'm going to be running backwards with my back to all the bullets. Like, how are you that dumb? I don't understand that. Like, how can you be that dumb? Man, you're not gonna have a good time being like that. You're really not gonna have a fucking good time. Not a single fucking moment in that person's life is probably a good time, judging from what happened. The team was garbage. Nobody wants to do their fucking job. Nobody wants to do air. And I always seem to end up on these fucking servers where there ain't a single person that speaks English or ends up just straight out speaking flat out Ukrainian or Russian. Man, I just don't feel like fucking going through the whole translation process either. I'm too fucking lazy to translate any language. Much less let alone to translate English. I'd rather be completely clueless and have no idea what anyone's saying and just walk past them. Because the only thing talking does for people is get them either in trouble or get them in more trouble than they already were in. And not once has me talking ever gotten me out of trouble, even with the right words.
Somebody, cover me! Attack the sea point!
Especially when I was innocent. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. When I was born in this shit world, I must have been born on a really fucking shit day, or I was probably born on Hitler's birthday, because apparently I seem to have had all the hate he had. Or maybe I was born on Osama bin Laden's birthday. Or maybe I was born on some great tragedy's day of remembrance. And that might explain a little bit why I still get treated like fucking garbage. But whatever the fucking case is, people keep shitting in my damn cornflakes, and I'm getting tired of it.
Repairing! Somebody, cover me!
Oh, look at that, dude. You didn't fucking pay attention to your mini-map. You know, that's an important resource you have to pay attention to, because if you don't, you end up with cancer. I don't know how you were expecting that to work, dude.
Thank you!
Jeez. You were gonna run up on me coming off of the side of a cliff? How were you expecting that to work? I'm going to run up on this person while driving off the side of a cliff. In In what universe does that ever work out? Driving off the side of a cliff, exposing the underside. Unfortunately, this game didn't treat what I shot straight at him as an over-penetration, because that has happened before with modern tanks when shooting them with this fat gun. This ridiculously oversized one-shot Magnum, or should I just say the ridiculously oversized battleship gun, somehow with 95 millimeters of penetration can somehow over-penetrate a modern battle tank. It likely has more than 20 millimeters of armor on the underside of the vehicle, which is more than enough to detonate the shell. Because with these freaking shells that they have, in order for the core to go off, it only needed 8 millimeters. Doesn't need a whole set of 45 or 100. Hey, why don't you turn the hell around? You can't see the moron behind you?
Attack the enemy.
For fuck's sake, dude. Yeah, no problem, man, but, you know, I won't be able to keep pulling off these freaking Magnum blasts. You know, eventually my luck's gonna dry out, and I'm gonna be bone dry. Oh, God. You just had to pick the fight with Sublime over there. And yeah, I just made a shit joke. Yeah, I'd rather get killed by somebody else and have them steal the kill than to let the jet have it. I already got my 2 freaking blasts. And no, not the Jimmy Neutron, it's got a blast. Got a blast! Blast to the stars in a Mexican candy bar. To get a sombrero with inventions. Yeah, that's not really the song, but I decided to go ahead and say it like that. I should probably go low and slow, because I'm not trying to get knocked out of the air by a sit-down. Considering the missile fire I'm already seeing. Really, dude? You've got to be fucking kidding me, dude. I still got blown out of the air. What kind of garbage jet is that? Whoever made that jet should be fired. Man, it's like people are still fucking trying to pass herpes and cancer in this game still. The event's over, loser. You already got all the objects. Ain't nothing else to claim in the game. You already got all the stupid parts. You already got all the dumb fucking pieces they were offering. None of the equipment that remains is remaining. Man, look at this high packet shit. And ain't nobody else on the fucking Wi-Fi. I'm just gonna have to stop the broadcast. Well, broadcasting any network signal at this point, because it seems to be slowing my shit down. I keep getting an unstable connection every goddamn time. At this given point, I'm going to throw everyone off of the network, because that's the only way it's going to work again. Because I get real tired of people putting other fucking bastards on my network. I already had that issue with one person in my household already. Oh, they tell me it's not going to slow my shit down, yet they want to have their shit on my shit. And whatever the hell they're doing with their bullshit, it's flooding my network controllers. And for some reason, someone's always fucking with them when it comes to hacking. And I'm not about to have another set of 20 devices that don't exist here on my shit. Get out of here with that lame-ass Japanese tank, dude. It's your weak-ass Type 74. Out of all the tanks that I hate is the Japanese Type 74. It's like the Japanese iteration of the Leopard 1. Not a very satisfying taste. I'm gonna show you that one.
The enemy is ready. We've got to counterattack. The gun crew is ready.
And for those of you who are wondering, that is how I see the Type 74. I see it as the Japanese iteration of the Leopard 1 tank. Let's see. Okay, target's handled, taken care of.
Allied forces have captured
The T-55 is just straight up did his job. It's like somebody's going ahead and doing all that shit again. I bet if I look into the Windows event viewer, I'm gonna see some asshole trying to flood my controllers. And then I'm gonna have a nasty little shitty package for their fucking power grid where they live. Because everything in their house is gonna be fried. I don't care if it's their electronics or not, I will fry their home grid so that they have none. I will personally fry your house's freaking power grid just so you don't have shit. Look at that unrealistic bullshit. You've got to be kidding me with that dog crap again. Yeah, there'd be no point in putting pressure on the enemy. We already lost this game. They still have beta, and now they're about to rob, well, what's left? How the hell did that do no penetration? That's 335 freaking... Fuck you, game. You just straight up helping this motherfucker out at this point. Look at that shit. Nothing. Man, fuck this game. It's just straight up fucking helping this motherfucker out right there. Fuck you. I ain't even gonna fucking bother with that crap. 335 millimeters of armor penetration isn't gonna bust through that sad sack of crap. You've got to be bullshit. 335 of APFSDS isn't gonna fly through that armor. What bullshit. That's all I have to fucking say. What bullshit? What fucking bullshit? There's no way a 335 millimeters is not gonna bust through that fucking goddamn mantlet and destroy the gun. There's no damn way. And it's unrealistic that if a tank turret is moving to the left and right, that the round is gonna get stuck and wiggle on the outside. It's not a fucking arrow. Wherever it impacts, it's gonna fly straight in. Doesn't matter. That's unrealistic physics. Doesn't matter if it's on RB or freaking arcade battles. I've seen that bullshit. Let me turn my turret and start swaying it so that way the bullet just goes like that. No. Armor piercing fin stabilized. Discarding Sabo is always going to make its point. It's not like a conventional round like an APACB or APCBC. Those conventional rounds have to impact and make it at least an inch into the material. Otherwise, swaying left and right with someone shooting APCBC is going to go straight in and then it's going to bounce off. Because actually moving your turret will make it harder for it to go in. Where with APFSDS, it doesn't matter if you turned your turret or swaying it left and right. That method would never work in real life to shrug off that round because it's going to go straight in regardless. With much older rounds, I'd expect that type of materialistic idea to work. But with much newer material, that is completely unrealistic. It just doesn't make any sense. You want something to work out in your favor, but you're not gonna freaking, have a bit of realism? Like, I don't understand that. You want it to work out, but you're gonna throw away all the realism. That just don't make no sense. I feel like I just got testicular cancer from that shit. That's pure cancer. I'm pretty sure it was that piece of crap M48 the Americans have. And if it isn't that one, it has to be a German crap version of it. I know it ain't no M60. It's an M48 series. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, this looks like the SAD tank, but the Americanized version of it. The armor values of the front of this thing is 152. Swaying left and right on a flat plate isn't going to increase your armor. And that variable thickness armor behind it is bullshit. There is no variable thickness. Because all around it was 100 millimeters of armor. The M48 is no stranger to the world. Everybody knows how much it had. It had 100 millimeters of armor cast straight all the way around. It was all cast. It was kind of sad. You're going to try to sit there and tell me that that didn't go straight through the front. Now let's take a look at this. And right here. The American one, completely destroyed. Realism restored. Now let's go over to Germany's version of it, which is the very same tank. Likely a M, 8.3? 58 millimeters of armor, protection analysis. Germany, USSR, T-55A. Gone. I expect that to happen on that part. Damaged. Destroyed. Hit. Hit. So what the hell was that with the whole fucking game doing that crap to me? What garbage was that? Now let's move over to the Super. I'd expect this to have some kind of actual stopping power. And be able to stop one of these rounds. At best, one of these rounds. Minimize damage of impact. Minimize damage of impact. Minimize damage of impact. Straight through the very top. Minimized damage of impact, only one crew member lost instead of two. So what the hell makes what I was shooting at that bastard in arcade any fucking different? It made no fucking sense for someone to have an incredibly unfair advantage like that in such function. For someone to receive that much invincibility when they shouldn't have it at all, period, that just makes no fucking sense. You're gonna give that person that much invincibility with that tank? No. No, I say fucking no to that shit. Because at that point, that's just straight hacking. There ain't nothing else to it. Before I continue any further with jumping into games, I need to start adjusting it and only putting it to the American and the United Kingdom servers, as only those two servers seem to communicate well. But that made no sense whatsoever. How is that going to fucking work that way? That made no sense. He wasn't even more than 500 meters from me. He wasn't even a kilometer from me. I'd understand if he was 1 kilometer away from me for the round to have no more or no less than 335, but for that made no sense. Especially from an M48, G1, or I think it's G2 series. Because it definitely wasn't no M48 Super. I don't know why you're pushing me, dude. I top out at 22 miles an hour. You should probably proceed forward. Like, even in freaking realistic battles, that seems to happen quite periodically, and I don't understand why that keeps happening. Why the M48 keeps getting basically a freebie pass. I don't understand that. In realistic battles, it gets a freebie pass, and in arcade battles, it gets the same thing. So why does the game have to be so cancerous? Because the game knows exactly where I shot at, but why is it acting like I didn't?
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Really, dude? There's absolutely nothing there. There was no train. I know there wasn't no damn train right there.
Reloading.
That's 16 seconds at that point given. 16. It's 32 seconds, so it's about 35.5. So 35.5 seconds to reload to full gun.
Attention to the map.
I hope that dummy is paying attention, because man, this is going to be a really chock-filled day of nothing but just bad crap. The only reason why I'm playing KV2 is because I want to make a little bit of extra cash, but at the same time, I do want to manhandle some of these people with this thing. Because the KV2 is king. Gotta get rid of the Bagel Dancer 57 though. I don't need to have any more carbs. 21 seconds at that interval, so it's quite a hefty price. I should probably fly ahead of schedule before the main guy. If I want to be able to make my mark, I should really fly ahead of schedule. Or just lock onto this moron. No idea why it gave me that much. That was the slowest moving missile I ever encountered in my life. By the way, I would like to work my way up towards the Zulu, but I'm afraid because of its terrible quality in this game, the vehicle's general uplift has been completely underrepresented. Because the vehicle does have poor quality, it's been heavily underrepresented in this game. Yeah, I don't care about the radio operator gonna, okay? The radio operator gonna can give the freaking driver a BJ for all I care. In the PJs. Why'd they give me a ghost round for? They literally detonated the round on the side of a dead tank. And the round is well placed. What the hell is right here? There's no building. Someone needs to move these goddamn corpses out of the fucking way because they're not helping me here. If you don't start rearranging these goddamn corpses or moving them out of the way, I'm never going to be able to make my shot. There shouldn't be this many corpses piled up here to begin with. That's like saying you're graveyard happy. Oh hell no. I am good. This thing ain't doing shit. You gave me the Mi-24A. What the hell is that going to do to a closed-top tank? Nevertheless, I should say a closed-top anti-aircraft battery. And the Bagel Panzer. Bagel Panzer couldn't get his target, even with his hacks. You saw how that missile made a full right turn? You know, I keep getting dog shit copters. What the hell are they expecting for me to do with this thing? The 50 cal machine gun parts ain't gonna do crap to nobody. What were you expecting to happen? What, aerial domination? With what, fool? Look at that. Ain't nothing to shoot. Yeah, I might as well just give that guy the free kill, because you know what? That's a shit helicopter. It was shittier than the last one. Should be fired for giving me that. Really, dude? It was right on the money. How are you gonna fucking give me something right on the money and then you're not gonna give me the kill? You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, survived being the key words. So I'm just gonna have to switch over to high explosive. That's actually not a bad helicopter. It's actually pretty decent when it comes to carrier-based operations. And it's a very decent scout. You have got to be kidding me, dog. You go and jack my kill when it's really assured for me? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. No, I'm out, dog. An assured kill for me, and it gets robbed. Man, dude, now that just straight up gave me testicular cancer right there. Gotta deal with military asshats. There. Come on, we're going over there. Irish KV Tucson. That reminds me, considering I'm also part Japanese or whatever, that might explain my love for swords and wanting to beat up people with my bare hands. Also probably explains the crazy freaking dreams that I keep having. Just like that crazy dream about Japan being destroyed by several types of disasters. Dreams or visions. Remember that. If you have a terrible nightmare that feels incredibly realistic, it's probably because it's actually happening, or it's about to happen. Never take visions or nightmares or anything lightly. You might grow up to regret it later.
I refuse! Awesome!
Yeah, you can refuse me all you want, but you still gotta take it. I'm just here to handle the big boys. I'm here to handle the American Septusk.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
It's like I got no visual sight on the enemy or their Tuscany chicken farm. Looks like it's time to move. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tuscany chicken is a style of cooking chicken. Doesn't have anything to do with racial, biracial, anything or anything like that. It's all pretty neutral material. Come on, move forward.
Attention to the map.
Radio camp wagon. I have to reverse. Well, good luck, Ichiro. What? This is Hitler's canoe. I'm not about to sell it to nobody who drives a Mitsubishi. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love King of the Hill. Mitsubishi? Them's are the people who made the planes that bombed Pearl Harbor. Oh, man. Don't get me wrong, Mitsubishi is a series of Japanese homes or something like that. Actually, it's a series of, I think, of 15 families involving one of Japan's weirdest ventures in the motor history. Mitsubishi. 15 houses, including one of the houses of Kyoto. Would you like a French fry? Arikasa. Hello, can I see mas? Ishiro Yamaguchi.
Attention to the
Looks like I have to go face off with the radio man, Camp Wagon 4.0. Camp Wagon killed the radio star. Come on, Leopard. You want to have a leopard dinner, right? Get your ass over here. Get over here! Really, dude? There's no way you were able to withstand that. Bruh! We can both die here in peace. Get out of here with that garbage. Yeah, man, that little tiny little, that very, very tiny little tank of yours isn't gonna last too long. However, managed to mop the floor with the enemy right there. That's what they all get. Do you understand me? That's what you little shits get. Get out of my airspace. Do you understand me? This is not the Nintendo Wii. Get out of my airspace.
We no longer have an advantage.
Okay. I think all the enemy seems to have finally understood that I get the final say-so. Right, say so good. And look at that. Not really much of a negative in-turn result. I had fun completely flattening the enemy. It was like running over a field of puppies. Wow, they charged me $3,220 for the ammunition? I wonder what expensive ammo I was shooting. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. It's like the prices for ammunition skyrocketed, so everybody's getting fucked in that department. Oh, 230 for that. Oh, look, 230 a piece. I hope you aren't charging me more for using this. Next thing I know, they're gonna start applying a time filter. Oh, the KV-2 is like what? 30, 45 years old? And you're putting it into combat scenarios with the more modern advanced battle tanks? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and dial back your turret slew ratio by 75%, your gun reload ratio by 3 minutes, and we're gonna reduce your ammo's quality because it's 35 years later into the future. We're gonna reduce your ammo's quality to, 95%. So there's a 5% chance it'll blow up right in the barrel, killing you and the whole crew. Oh, and because of the age and time, we're going to reduce your transmission to a maximum reverse speed of 1 mile an hour with a maximum drive speed of 10 miles per hour because 35 years in the future. So, yeah. Oh, and only premium people get to experience it at 50% for everything. That's basically what it is. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab, like... No, it's not ice cream, it's just soda. I don't think anybody would get these jokes, but I'm just gonna say this once, and I'm pretty sure for anyone who's actually seen them would probably know what I'm talking about. Son robados! Oh man, I remember that stuff. Or this one. ¿Para dónde vas, cabrón? I don't think anybody would ever get those references, but man, Megan Wolf Howl is hilarious. But I haven't seen a single video from that guy in a long time, other than his videos involving live streams. So he does live streams now. I guess he decided to take my advice. I don't know. I told him live streams is another way to go if you can't come up with new stories for animations. Live streaming is the next way to go. And I used to be a pretty decent animator myself and creating animations, but you forget that over time. And if you're like me and you end up in like what they call a mini coma, you'll lose a lot of memory because parts of your brain are dark. And in my case, parts of my brain actually are dark. Like literally just about all the light bulbs in there are on the verge of turning off. Nobody else in my entire household has any clue that that's literally going on inside of my head, so I like to keep it that way. That literally all the light bulbs in my head are turning off, and you know, once the final one, which will probably be the nail in the coffin, turns off, I'm going to be completely retarded. Like, no way that I'll be back to normal, no way of recovery. And yes, I use that term to describe whenever your physical body is no longer capable of maintaining itself and it needs to be micromanaged by another person. People call it developmentally disabled or handicapped, but you know, the one thing that I put inside of my actual will of living, and it's actually been notarized, is that in the event that I become developmentally disabled, handicapped, or completely mentally retarded, I want to be shot in the head, because that is no way to live. You'll be treated less for being that way. And that's actually very true. As I was growing up as a young child, I was treated less well because I was different. The people said I had a disease, and they treated me like I was a disease, trying to expel it at every corner. Anyways, I doubt Margaret's actually ever watching anything I ever play on videos or on streams or any of my live stream videos or any of my things. But the only person that really had a big heart was Margaret. And Margaret was developmentally disabled. But her big heart is what made me love her very much. Because a human being with a big heart, no matter with the indifferences, that is so rare. Looks like he thought he had a free kill. A BT-7M.
We are close to the zone.
It's a BTK. Well, the BT-7 actually almost had that straight up kill. I mean, 79mm of armor penetration power is enough to just go straight through the side of this thing like butter. Somebody's coming in with a rocket barrage. Looks like someone's mad, master. So he asked me for 350. I'm gonna need about 250. So then the Loch Ness monster asked me, I'm gonna do about 250. Yeah, 250. Or is it 350? I can't remember. He kept asking for money.
Our victory is here.
Ow. Awooga. Yeah, you can knock out the loader all you want, son. You ain't stopping this thing. It's a piece of Russian marvel. It's a massive Russian marvel of mystery. I'm pretty sure if somebody were to use this tank in today's society, they would still get a successful vehicle kill because of the amount of ordnance that's inside of each bullet. And if they're real smart, they can make 152mm smoothbore rounds. Fortunately, one bullet was already mostly loaded in whenever I was doing a thing. And this also reminds me of a song that Rick Ross had said. He had a chopper in the car. The bigger the bullet, the more the bits go and bang. Which is a real phrase and a real fact. The bigger the bullet inside of a gun, the louder the bang will be. However, the slower it's flying, but the more power and force it carries behind it. Kinetic munition, basically. A 9mm Parabellum is a standard kinetic munition. A subpar or subsonic kinetic munition would be like a 32 ACP or 22 LR. Those are subsonic kinetic munitions that carry speed, not force. The subsonic munitions carry speed, but not enough force. Because they don't have the physical capacity to carry anything heavier than, well, I believe it's 22 grain. Dude, you got cocky. There, manhandled. I got you.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
I got exactly the results I was looking for. And since I achieved God mode, this puts me a little closer to paying my bills that I'm a little bit late on. Still gotta make that paper to get the next American tank. I already got the Tupolev 2, which isn't even that bad. Hey. Like, hey, how are ya?
Need cover.
110% coil, I should be able to at least gain a bit of speed back. This is a nice helicopter when it's on paper, but believe me, to use it in real life, it's more complicated. This German helicopter was originally the pinnacle of stealth technology for their time. At least for a helicopter that was hard to detect at low altitude. It also bolstered in its high advanced technologies for its time. In fact, this helicopter was heavily guarded by the Germans back in the early day, and was heavily revered. Immobile, right in the open.
Attention to the map.
7-2 and open. It's like it was just destroyed. You know, if I had fired off smoke, he probably would have survived. But then if I had done that, he also would have lost track of his target, since technically the smoke grenades on vehicles actually contain white phosphorus, but there's also aluminum in it as well. Which creates a shrouding effect which prevents thermal visors from operating functionally, whether it's fired at close range or long range. You still won't be able to keep track of your ground target.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
In fact, throwing a chaff grenade,
To the map.
a grenade filled with chaff flakes, actually does a bit of damage to electronic equipment. It's not massive, it's more like minor damage. It could also interfere with thermal optic imaging, along with night vision imaging. In an ironic sense, you might not believe it, but the smallest things in the world really can screw with things. And if you're really just trying to mess with the electronic equipment on a tank, just use an electromagnetic field and just crank it up. And if you have enough magnetic energy literally coursing through the material, you'll have enough energy coursing through the raw structure of anything. Just make sure if you're fucking around with magnets that you literally wear a lead-lined suit. You don't want to sterilize yourself. How is that not doing anything to him? Clown. You're not pulling out of that dive. Oh, didn't have to assist him then. However, I will assist this young man here. Vickers Mark 7, eh? Doesn't matter to me.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Right on that spot. Before anyone asks, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I do not expect to survive the next ordeal. Meaning the next exchange, I don't expect to survive it, considering I'm going in alone.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Your team is ready.
Well, I didn't expect to survive it, but I did.
We're done.
I'm actually surprised. Alright, it's time to seal the deal.
The enemy is preparing for artillery barrage. Repeat, the enemy is preparing for artillery barrage.
Yeah, no thank you.
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
I can't believe I survived that, but it worked out. It worked out wonders. I guess playing at top tier might actually be more beneficial than playing at lower tiers with the KV2. Considering lower tier with KV2 seems to be more damaging than assisting. Wow, I'm not gonna really want to throw away 20 grand to give myself just a little bit more horsepower, do I? Well, I mean, I gotta get all this crap done anyways. So if I throw away 20k now, I don't have to pay for it later. I know that's not how it works. But if I throw it away now, I don't have to worry about it later. Man, that made no sense what I said. That literally made no sense. That's not a very big brain idea. That's not big brain. Believe it or not, I'm actually trying to find like a job that's actually more close to the city, so that way I can be in the city. And sure, I'm probably going to introduce my friend to some new furniture. If my job pays well, I'll introduce my friend over there in the city to some new furniture. And I don't care what the apartment complex says to her or tells her, but I'm ripping out all that linoleum and I'm going to put in some freaking, you know, floorboards, because I'm clearly not going to have the house sitting like that. All our old furniture is going to have to get thrown out. There's going to be new furniture emplacements and fabrications for a home. But me, in no physical way, I'm not going to be doing anything else. Probably going to hire an external company to install a newer unit for AC, the air control inside of our home. You know, when the luxuries of AC came into the world, it actually caused issues with people's internal physical body to regulate temperature accordingly. It had more or less created issues with regulation of body temperature. Because if people are in the AC for too long in their whole life, the minute they go outside into that heat, they're not going to last. Like, I guarantee you, you will not last out there. Because if you're so used to just basically having air blowing in your face and being straight cold and everything, you're not going to last outside in any kind of heat, especially not no Texas heat. And under many conspicuous circumstances, to be in the AC is real nice. When you really need to cool someone down, being in the AC is nice. When you want to cool somebody who's close to getting heat stroke down, give them room temperature water and gradually apply colder and colder material to them to cool the body down. You don't want to throw them into a cold pool of water because you'll cause shock. Probably even cause them to give them a heart attack. The human body is currently incapable of adjusting to rapid, sudden changes in temperature, ranging from humidity to heat, to extreme cold, to extreme heat, or to just extreme humidity. These simple factors that the Earth is currently facing with the boiling core, because the core is actually, and I'm going to put this out there for those of you who do not know, according to calculations, an entirely new continent will be forged soon. However, the old continents may recede as a result. Not all of them, just a few of them, that do not have a structurally sound structure. This new continent that will arise will take 25 years for it to grow vegetation accordingly. When a new continent arises, it isn't going to be Pangea, I guarantee you that. The mantle is ever changing, however the material it's producing is different. Our mantle does not have a limited source of energy, because our mantle is rather quite different from most other planets in their mantles. Their mantles were genetically modified. Our mantle is also a modified mantle, but it's not expanding like the other planets have. Our planet isn't a fragment of another planet. Our planet is a fragment of its own, of a much larger source of energy. Oh great, some night ops. And into the nuked city. From what it looks like. Yep. Either a nuke went off here, or a 10,000 kilogram bomb detonated in the center, or a 5,000. By the way, 5,000 kilograms of explosive mass is really huge. So, you know, that's one of the things in the world. Oh, and another thing. For those of you who do not believe red matter is a thing, red matter is actually a real substance. And red matter, what people call red matter in today's society, which they think is red matter, is not real red matter. Real red matter is actually a highly volatile substance that is actually very extremely dangerous. But it takes less than a milligram to power a city for 1,000 years. If maintained and managed properly, you could power a city for more than 1,000 years with just that little piece. And yes, a lot of movies, TV shows like to make up materials, but the sudden material has actually already been in existence for quite some time, so it's not made up. Anyone would know that. The red matter is actually a real material, but if used properly, it can become an extraordinarily dangerous weapon. If you've ever heard of a smart bomb, well, if you've ever played the game Star Fox, there we go. There goes the missile launcher. No, dog, no, no. Oh man, that was just priceless. All right, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with my Javelin tank. I always take just straight up armor-piercing tracer shells. It should just be straight out armor-piercing, because you don't really need a tracer dot for armor-piercing, or a tracer line. I forgot how many vehicles I've killed with this thing, but I know it literally outclasses the BMP-1 or the BMP-2, I can't remember. But it's mostly ground vehicles and top-tier BR tanks. Man, look at that. That sexy fire. Looks almost fake, doesn't it? It looks like somebody stretched out cotton candy. Well, that's because I dialed back the graphics a bit as of recently. I could adjust them, but the sudden adjustment could probably crash my game.
Enemy forces have captured the zone.
By the way, this tank has a terrible horsepower ratio, power to weight ratio. For those of you who don't know, that sound you're hearing, that sounds like that, that's actually the grinding of the transmission. This tank actually doesn't sound like that in real life. But the way they made this tank right here sound like, it actually does sound like it's the grinding of the transmission. So that's not far off. Super sampling, flex, low latency. Let's let them do a small or minor modification. So basically minor incision adjustment. F-86 Sabre. Poppin' smoke. You can see my free chaff flying out the side. I got them sparkles people want. On the mobile snow machine. Blowing my 20 mils. Looks like he got the kill at last second. Let's see if he got paid for it. Let's see that. He got the kill right at last second. Let's see if he actually achieved his final goal. Player statistics, battle log. On hand, the best squad balancer of Heavy Metal Fury. Doesn't look like he received it right at last minute. It said he killed him, but he didn't get anything. But Irish, the Leopard 2K has delivered the final blow. Heavy Metal Fury, the best squad balancer on hand. My teammate achieved the Tank Rescuer ×2, the Avenger. Have I killed anybody? Yeah, I have. In the Java Ding. I killed somebody in the Java Ding. So I got one kill with the Java Ding. By the way, if anyone's wondering, do not ask what a Java idol is. I guarantee you won't like the answer you get, or maybe you will. Oh, and if you're into reading something called Gravure, I'm going to tell you. That's 18 and up. However, you do get amazing interviews with these such women that are also written on there. They take the juiciest, most satisfying parts of the interviews and usually put it inside of the magazine as well. I do not read the magazines, however, when I was younger, I had a digital subscription to it. And they also proceeded to sending all the magazines to my old address. So a friend of mine came out to me and said, "Say, dog, these people came asking to see if you were still around living here, and they handed me all this." He's like, "I kind of used them." And I was like, you can have them. Oh, man. My homeboy told me that he was looking for me, and he asked where I was at. Man. You're talking about... Man, you're talking about like freaking summer of 2009 all the way up to like 2010 to its last issue, and then from 2010 to 2012 up to 2013, which was like as far as I paid for a subscription for anything from Japan to be import and export. And that was like a lot of money. I come back around 2014, he tells me he was looking for me, but, you know, I straight up said, "You don't have to lie to me, dog. I know you weren't looking for me when those magazines rolled in. Somebody told me that they know about my magazine fetish." I said, "I would have had a magazine fetish if I actually had read them, but I don't." I said, "I only got one magazine, and that one magazine, my older brother took it to the bathroom and never came back with it. He had actually stolen it from my bedroom and took it to the bathroom and then never came back with it." It made me laugh. These women had led some extraordinarily interesting lives.
Destroy the target. Need cover.
Come on, dude. Come on, dog. How you gonna do a brother like that? You sitting right there and you gonna skip town on a brother? Man, dog, and I backed you up and saved your life and everything. Man, you owe me a repair. Get your little freaking BMP2 ass over here.
Attention to the map! Attack the enemy!
Affirmative.
Looks like I gotta go hunting. Gotta get the blunderbuss ready. Oh, looks like I got 30 seconds to wait, basically. Thanks. I save you guys' asses, and then you guys don't even fucking return the favor. I saved the other guy from the fucking M1 Abrams early version. The XM1, and you don't even return the favor, homie? Nah, you don't get that opportunity or that satisfaction. I. Well, as long as I maintain it like this. Rotate, 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 auto rotate. No, that's funny. My guy thought he was safe. Once he realizes he's being shot at, he's gonna move. Doesn't matter if you got an SPAA. Come on, dude.
Somebody attack him. Repairing. Attention to the designated grid zone.
I understand bringing a mouse into the combat zone at this BR is actually kind of legendary because you can take a serious amount of blows. But in such case, it might not help you all too well. Don't you just love this face? And then the other person too. I like that helmet. It's pretty cool. I'd wear it. Feel like I got my Tanuki suit. Ow.
Reloading. Attack the enemy. Attack the enemy.
How did that work? I shot him, but it didn't destroy it? Oh, man.
Attack the enemy. Defend the A point.
The bigger the bullet, the more they stop going bang. Go down, you little turkey. While he's busy reloading while he's on fire, I should get the hell out of here.
Somebody attack him.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Reduce the coil, I can produce a soft landing.
Take him down.
Oh well, I damaged one of their main stupid anti-aircraft vehicles anyways. It's time to move forward and step up with the T-64A. One of the greatest workhorses in the Soviet Union. This vehicle has had more action than the president.
Attention to the map.
Hey there, kid. Yeah, I know what I'm getting into, dude. It's a meat grinder. But you know what? Somebody's got to do the job. It's a nasty job, I know. But somebody's got to get in there. What's up, T-80? The ADATS is just a kit. It ain't finna do nothing to you.
Destroy enemy base. Attack
Still want to get my free licks on this guy. Look at that, an internal error. Still kicked ass. It's not bad. If they'd give me that 100K, I'd be pretty satisfied right about now. I'd be pretty satisfied if I'd received that 110,000. It'd be real helpful to my operations and my donations boxes. Thank yous for donating to my boxes of healthypeople.com. You know, with any time that I ever had Golden Eagles, the only time I ever paid for to ace a crew so that way I wouldn't have to grind, what was it, 500,000 XP, was for the T60 light tank. That would probably be the only time I've ever, in any point, any time ever in my lifetime, I've ever wasted my time with grinding for anything. And right now, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Yeah, well, your weapon reloading blows. The fastest I'm going to go is 33.3 seconds. That's like going 33.3 miles an hour. With a very well trained crew, you can actually reload the KV-2 in real life in under 33 seconds. Imagine literally going to war and then having the mouse just randomly appear. Like, just hear me out for a second. So you're gonna go to war, but you're inside of a mouse in a war zone with modern battle tanks. Although, if you were in the midst of a modern war zone with nothing but chaos raging everywhere and all that stuff, you know, I don't expect much to happen to the vehicle that you're driving in real life. So if you're driving a mouse, I don't expect much to happen to the mouse. But I'm pretty sure if somebody saw that thing just cruising up the street at 8 miles an hour shooting, and since that thing is literally a literal land ship gun, I'm pretty sure people would be crapping themselves. If anything, what would have been a decent reward, and I'm just going to say it like this, what would have been a decent reward is if they put the mouse either on the battle pass or when there's an event or special stuff like going on, special events, it should at least be a claimable object. Oh, you can unlock the mouse without having to grind like 500 XP or some crap like that. That would be nice. The E100 would probably be the only existential form of a tank that probably has existed versus the mouse, because the E100 is actually a modified version of the original mouse. You got your 75mm KWK-44L and your 128 KWK-44 cannon. Your 128mm cannon looks devastating to the untrained eye, but the amount of time it would take you to reload your main gun would probably be sufficiently large. Considering how much the ammo weighs and how fat that bullet is, it's like loading a ship gun. And the other crappy part is that you would need a crane inside of the vehicle too. When they designed this tank, they probably should have made the turret as large as this and moved any kind of form of radiator ventilation probably to the bottom of the vehicle instead of having it on the top. Even though it would have required more filter changes, they could have put the radiator vents somewhere on the vehicle. And of course, it would have required more filter changes or something like that, but either way, the vehicle would have been more manageable. Or if the vehicle was much wider, had a much more wider form by like maybe 8 feet, or putting 4 on each side, the vehicle would have been much wider. Yes, it would have required a bigger crew, but you would have had more space to install the said function. And the ridiculous part about this vehicle is that these, I'm not sure if these are actual hatches. And if the person even had the strength to push the hatch up to begin with. I'm pretty sure those were hatches that just pushed inward and then you had to get a weird little metal stick, some kind of metal pipe or tube, and then pull it upwards and then turn to the right to lock it. Because that's kind of what it looks like. The hatch is right here. This being 40 millimeters thick, you had to have some real man strength to open that thing up. 40 millimeters of freaking rolled homogeneous armor is not lightweight, it's actually rather heavy. So overall, not a bad base. And then on top, 60, and then 100, yeah. Yeah, good luck lifting 100 millimeters without some kind of hydraulic or spring to assist you with reducing the weight. 200 in the front, 150 below, 120 on the sides, and 75 all around. Then you got the 30 millimeter thick discs, and then a 30 millimeter thick tracks, which is pretty damn thick. The 10 millimeter thick pieces, literal thick attachments, including a muffler. Then you got your 40 millimeter plate for the engine. And your power to weight ratio is 1162. Your radiators were literally 2 large drums. Your transmission had to have been pretty craptastic. And for this thing to go 26.4 miles an hour with a 7.1 reverse gear, that's fucking insane for the amount of weight of 150 tons. That's about as much as an average freaking... That's about a little bit... I think that is about as much as the average boat. If it ever weighed that much. Your standard heat around your 37 millimeters. Throw it into the reference. Literally, imagine driving that down the street in the middle of an active, modernized battlefield. The Maus, or the E100 model. Sure, you wouldn't have such a great start at the beginning, but imagine seeing this ridiculous thing just racing down the street. You wouldn't think too much of it until the minute you got blasted by it. This weighs 150 tons, which is, I think, about a little over 150,000 pounds. It'd just be straight up trucking because, like, it pushes that out of the way because that's just a straight up truck with an anti-aircraft gun. Let's go find a much more heavier tank. Look at that, it just peppers the inside. Whatever the Germans were thinking, this was definitely a marvel of engineering. I'm pretty sure if a modern battle tank in today shot at this goddamn thing, the rounds would just shrug off. Because of how thick the freaking armor is on this vehicle, I'm pretty sure a modernized battle tank would have the agility, but in the event that modernized battle tank screwed up, or they got too cocky for their own selves, then they'd probably get flattened by this thing. Because I can actually see that happening. Let's say somebody in the Abrams thinks they have the upper hand because they're in a modernized battle tank and they want to drive circles around this thing. Well, in the event they decide to go ahead and screw around and end up crashing somewhere, or just happen to be just plain flat out stupid and decides to go ahead and try to go toe-to-toe with a vehicle this massive size. The Abrams might be heavy, but it's not heavy enough. And that's just from statistical standing points. The Abrams is not heavy enough to actually push this vehicle. This vehicle would win in a torque battle because it has the weight to push down the tracks to push even this thing. Like, look at that. A T-44 would be run over flat by this thing. Now that right there, that made absolutely no sense, but that was actually kind of wild. The KV-2 just swallowed that round. It literally swallowed that round. That was crazy. Look at that. That was like legit Stalin power. Look at that shit. And then right there. By everything here? Look at that. Now this is straight up cheating. Like, how is that? The KV-2, what is it? So rough that the round detonates? I gotta look at that, man. Look at that. The chassis right there is so rough that it causes the 128mm round to just detonate on impact. It went in and pushed a metal down, but it did not go through. Which is kind of crazy. Purple stuff, purple stuff, purple stuff. Shoot right there. Takes out only the commander's optic.
It serves him right.
And this is just a speed for pretty much arcade battles. Anytime somebody's driving the mouse or somebody pulls out the E100, the mouse's cousin, people always go over there and, you know, they try to go stab it to death or something like that. You know, that's kind of like their whole point. Oh God, here comes the mouse's brother and the mouse itself. Let's go stab him to death. That's actually real, what I'm telling you. Like, people do that. They actually go out of their way to go stab it to death. And this is the current speed and acceleration in realistic battles. Siva. Not bad. So. If you get one research point into the mouse, you get to keep it. Yeah, I got my research point, but I didn't get to fucking keep that thing. It was gone in the next update. Man, if I had the money, I probably could have sued Gaijin for that lie. Could have. Still want my mouse. Why sue a company that's larger than you and try to win that battle if you know it's a downhill battle? I guarantee you by the time you know it, they're going to be putting Vaseline on a glove and you're the one that's going to be talking like a puppet in court. Oh man, that's a terrible way to describe it, but that's really the undefined truth. Never go up against large conglomerates unless you have an incredible amount of incriminating evidence that's true. And as long as you're going into a court with a judge that does not accept bribes. In fact, if I was ever a judge and somebody tried to bribe me, I'd tell them straight up, I ain't taking your nasty money. You might be able to buy your way out in other courts, but you're certainly not buying your way out of this court. You know, like, that's a real thing I tell them. You can buy your way out of trouble in other cities, but you don't buy your way out of trouble in this city. I dish out punishment evenly. If this person has all that incriminating evidence against you, you try to do anything to my family, and you're going to see why they called me a monster. And why I was a part of a few projects in the United States that took place overseas. Can't give no names to them, but however, I was a protege. So, you know, never mess with a wild animal. You might get bit. Moral of the story is, if somebody tells you something about their past, it's probably because it's likely true. However, it also means don't underestimate the person you're messing with. Just because it looks like they're lacking the resources doesn't mean that they're not lacking the firepower or the will strength to do the said job they said they do. By the way, believe it or not, if you want to make your own things in life, and I'm just going to say, if you want to make your own things in life, crack open old firecrackers, mix them with Play-Doh, use copper wires, and poof, a cheap breaching charge. In the event that you ever get locked in your trunk and you're smart enough to have that material laying around already pre-mixed, you got to make sure it stays slightly moist. Can't be dry, otherwise it's ineffective. Because you won't be able to pass electrons through it. So either way, if you ever end up stuck inside of a car that does not have an ability to open the back trunk because that thing is broken, well, use your bootleg breaching charge and use the rubber mat that's in the back of the car's trunk to achieve your goal. There you go. Well, there you go. I already played Duck Hunt. Yeah, Duck Hunt.
Thank you very much. Destroy enemy base.
Wow, Mr. Leopard 2A4, I'll come pick you up, eh? Oh, looks like this guy was getting spent. Like, you're spent, bruh. Hey, dummy number one.
Attention to the map.
What the actual fuck, dude? There's like nobody indication. There's like no indication they're over there. Well, as much as it pains me to do this, it's nice time for missile time. I hate doing this part of my job. Well, looks like I have to do it this way because there's no other way.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
And yes, if people are wondering, has Uganda Knuckles officially died as a meme? In such cases, yes, he has died as a meme. But for some reason, people keep bringing his ass back from the grave. Why anyone brings Uganda Knuckles back from the grave is rather a mystery to me. But I guess it's because people can't let him go. I guess he was what you would call a meme that was spent well. That made no sense on the angle of impact on that one. I'm going to say that one right there. The angle of impact on that made no sense. Dude, you're on a hill incline and you're exposed. What are you going to accomplish? Getting shot down or getting blown up? Because you gotta choose one, man. The way I see it is, it looks like he's going to get killed.
Most of the zones are under control.
Yeah, you're saying bravo, dude. It's your own fault you got yourself killed. And that case, you shouldn't have left yourself exposed. You should have parked closer to the building. But you decided to go ahead and launch an air battle, spend 15 seconds inside of your VNP or your freaking M3 Bradley, whatever you want to call it. It's still a freaking light armored vehicle. But you decided to spend your time inside of your light armored Bradley expecting it to work out. And then when it didn't work out, you were morally shocked because you were robbed of your morale. In a way, I feel for them, but also in a way, they should have hid themselves better. Ha! Biatch! You might have gotten that, but you certainly didn't live to tell the story. Oh, did he really just curse me out? Didn't get to live to tell the story, my guy. Well, there's no boosters on this thing. If I don't avoid enemy fire at an accelerated rate, I'm gonna go down. And not in the good way. Well, there really isn't a good way to go down. Don't tell me that stupid Abrams is just gonna walk into the bomb. See if I can actually catch up with my target. If not, I'll have to bail out mid-flight. Yep, J out.
Somebody attack him!
Well, if I had known that guy was there, I would have continued. Looks like it's my last tank in the inventory, so I gotta be very careful with how I spend this one. Looks like somebody's firing an M163. Don't get me wrong, if you use the M163 in the right way, you can pretty much dominate the battlefield with it. But there are some structural limitations with the vehicle itself. Like surviving it would probably be the first part. You'd be really worried about survival. There's an enemy vehicle around here somewhere. I could hear the whining of the engine. Yeah, it's definitely too risky. So I have to make sure I get rid of my targets before they get here beforehand. Assuming the Fractalac PZ has any extra material.
Defend the C point.
Attack the A point.
Affirmative.
If I could divert attention away from the flak PZ, we should be fine. Should be. It's no guarantee. Hopefully this isn't from my angle. And it is. Leave. Get rid of them wing spars.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Had to bail out because there's no way I was going to survive that without having an issue. I have to run to the nearest captured point, begin defensive maneuvers there. I also gotta hunt down that Class 3P. That's an attacker.
We're losing.
Looks like he was gonna come straight for me after all.
Need cover.
Roger that. Hopefully I'll get there in time. Knowing how these things work out.
Somebody cover me.
Affirmative.
It's gonna take me a moment. If you keep screaming cover me, it's not gonna make the tank drive faster. Son of a bitch.
We've suffered a defeat. Everyone back to base.
Jeez, the guy acted like this tank had all the horsepower in the universe. It's not a Dodge Challenger, man. Not a freaking Dodge Challenger. It's not a Dodge Viper. ACR model. This vehicle does not take off from 0 to 60 in like 2.6 seconds. Imagine installing a nitro tank onto a freaking tank. Would it really help? Let's go look that up. Can you install NOS on a tank? No, I didn't say Nanasan. What the hell do I look like? I ain't no motherfucking music fucking thing.
Guide on me.
Never!
Attention to the designated grid square. On me!
No, I don't think anybody's ever attempted that. Ridiculous idea. But imagine trying that stupid idea. Let's say you want to have your tank run good and fast, but you don't want to have to deal with the delays and startup. Well, you might not have to deal with all those delays with the startup procedure if you just slap on a nitro tank onto it. Since it's diesel fuel, you might be able to do the same process that you can with a gas engine. So installing nitro should make no difference. Well, actually it'll make a serious difference, but it should make it easier to get a vehicle running. But imagine a tank with nitro. Sure, the tank already is chocked full of energy and has a massive amount of horsepower. But let's say you need that horsepower to be multiplied just a little bit so that you can get going without having to be dragged down by minor things. I hope these people are watching that stupid train tunnel, because that's usually the first thing people take over, so that way they can do their whole base camp sniping material. Left flank tunnel. Well, you better guard it then, you bum. Look at that shit. There's already freaking 3 assholes here. Now get out of here.
Attack the enemy!
More glass. Four plus hostiles. We got a T-72B, Leopard 1A5.
Attention to the map!
6 plus targets, bogeys and counting. They already damn retreated. 6 plus bogeys inside that stupid tunnel. And if I'm not mistaken, if we don't cover the ends, they're going to end up going around you. So this isn't going to end pretty well. Fortunately, if this gun reloads in time, I can just literally park up against this rock and shoot over the other side. Oh, well, look at that. He made himself exposed. Did someone really try shooting me from there? Six plus bogeys. Over there trying to run away from the left flank. Like, what's wrong with you, dog? Freaking left flank where the train tunnel is the most popular spot to camp. It's like when people got to see Marilyn Monroe naked for the first time.
Cover me. Affirmative.
Is it gonna go in? Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, time to make the emergency landing. I literally freaking made that landing. You can't tell me that that is not skill. Gotta wait for the challenge RO to go ahead and make his sad little round. willing to sacrifice my drivers if it means he'll live. Straighten out, you dumbass. Bruh, I'm only doing this for you once. After that, you better solve things for yourself, man. Run, fool. Jeez, you're waiting for me to give you an invite? It ain't gonna last too long.
The enemy is getting closer to victory.
Straight up said, the left flank is the most popular place to go when it comes to this battle. It's literally not even associated with the rest of the battlefield. Nobody cares about the objective. It's always a left flank camping spot. Everybody wants that left flank. Because a left flank is like having the prime ribs. That's literally what the left flank is. It's prime rib. It's not that sad chicken leg or that sad chicken thigh. No, it's straight prime rib. You got a full view of the enemy's location. You got a strategic advantage. No point hanging in this battle. It's already base rape. I tried to prevent base rape from happening and it still happened anyways. Man, the team was so, oh no, we have to get the objective. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? We were already on a losing battle. Our tanks were heavily outclassed by what we were facing. There's no way we were winning that garbage. I lost $6,000. That wasn't even a decent payout, so I'm satisfied I pulled out, otherwise I would have lost more. And if anyone's wondering, all your sodas contain within 65 milligrams of caffeine. And I'm just gonna take like 2 minutes to brush my teeth, since I have like a spin brush. So it takes about 2 minutes to scrape off everything. I had like 2 sodas, had a sad breakfast. Yeah, I'm all good. And I'm finally able to eat solid foods again. Because as of recently, I've had IBS. Not gonna lie. It's just a part of life as you grow up. You become allergic or incapable of eating certain foods. And in my case, apparently onions are so good for my body, or so bad for it, that it causes to me to end up with IBS or something like that. So I gotta lay off the onion, I gotta lay off the garlic, gotta lay off spices too. So it's not like I'm gonna be able to enjoy them 11 herbs of spices and stuff like that no more. So there goes the taste in food. I'm definitely not gonna be able to enjoy them spicy freaking chickens. Spicy chickens, I ain't gonna be able to enjoy a lot of spicy food no more. That's the thing that sucks. Alright, well, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. If you want to take your time to go get a drink or something to eat, some popcorn, it's gonna be like 2-3 minutes. I'm gonna brush my teeth. Can't have poor oral hygiene. If he doesn't clean up all that garbage in that bathroom and get it out of there and put his kids' crap somewhere, they're going to end up putting it all in a plastic bag and throwing it out of the restroom. Because I'm trying to clean up the tub and get rid of bacteria so that way I can take a damn shower.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
I'm going to have to grab it again.
We no
Can't
longer
let that
have the
slide.
advantage.
Yes, waste your ammo on me. Waste your ammo on me. Yes! Yes!
The enemy is winning. Most of the zones are under enemy's control.
Keep spawn camping. Keep spawn camping, you noob. In fact, this map should really get redone because we can't shoot into their spawn, but they can shoot into our spawn.
The zones are taken
So that's
by
kind of shit. That's incredible shit. That's shiesty fucking shit right there. That is some real shiesty shit. Oh god. Oh, we can shoot into your spawn, but you can't do us. Haha, bitches. Ah! Yeah. Keep spawn camping, you noobs. Am I calling me a noob? No. They're the noob here because they have to sit and spawn on the hill to get a kill. You have to camp our spawn to get a kill. You know, what happened to having real skill? I guess that went down the drain the minute they thought they had any real skill.
We need to put
I'm pretty
more
much done with
pressure on
this.
the enemy.
I'm not going to spend my time on this rape map. Who would waste their time on a map? It's just all rape. No glory. I'm not going to waste my fucking time on a map that's all rape and no glory. There's nothing to be won there. It's just straight L's. Can't leave spawn. Can't do shit there. And you better give me my motherfucking tanks faster than in 4 fucking minutes, you little shitty ass game. Starting to piss me off with your garbage ass fucking response. Oh, it's so big and juicy. Bitch ass piece of shit. Swear to God, dude, this fucking game is wasting my time. Anyways, I'm probably going to end my stream and try to recapture the nuclear power plant again in Fallout 76. So, the stream isn't going to end right now, but it'll probably end in a few minutes after I see how long I've been streaming for. I'm going for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. I expect for this battle to last about 8. Because, you know, that's kind of how the game likes to fuck me. You know, no Vaseline. Better take a full set of 45 because I don't plan to hang out at this little corner right here. I want to get rid of the M18 as soon as possible. The M18 is acceptable on the American side, however, on the Chinese side, the M18 is downright unacceptable. Sure, it's got some of what America has, but it does not have the APCR or any other round that would make it relevant in the BR that it's at now. So, battle success with this vehicle is relatively low. Oh, the Dick Hermax. Oh, Dick Hermax. Dick Her. Max. Don't worry, Dick Hermax. I intend to shove you to victory. Don't worry, Mr. Dicker.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Boy, you're a moron if you're gonna hang off the edge of that thing. I give him 3 minutes before somebody shoots him. Just straight front plate. There's gonna be no middleman in that one. It's just straight face. Like that. Those rounds that you just heard were incoming rounds directly on that cliff side.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Yeah, told you, dog. Piece of shit tank. Don't even know why it's on the Chinese tech tree. Throw that pile of garbage away. It is fucking worthless. If the Chinese had ever printed out a coin that was useless, that would be the coin that was useless out of the whole bunch, out of all the other coins. Even if you saved 100 of those coins, it wouldn't be worth $1 Chinese dollar. Banjo Gotti, X Games. Oh, it's the J7W. Oh, Mr. J7, XJ7. There you go, Mr. XJ9. Yes, the P-51D was one of the most successful fighters in the American history. No. This was not a successful fighter, I guarantee you that. This thing is garbage compared to every other plane I've ever flown in my whole life.
Destroy the target.
And I have its earlier Jughead brother version. The P-40E1 is literally an earlier iteration of the P-47. It's just less fat and obtuse.
Attention to the map.
While you're at it, say hello to the Avengers for me, you fat bitch. Really? That still hit me? I'm out. I don't want to fucking play the rape game. If I can't fucking leave spawn, fuck you. I'm not playing the fucking rape game and sit there all fucking day and still get fucking kills bullshit. You can go to fucking hell with that garbage. I do not play the rape game, dog. Let me cancel that search because you're gonna probably put me in a shitty ass lobby. Yeah, I don't give a shit if I'm not in a queue, you fucking crack baby. Jeez. You're not in a queue. Well, go sit on a pitchfork. In a way, I'm glad that shit fucking event is over. The fucking event was garbage, and the sweatiest fucks of all time were on it. If you had seen the top 10 and best anime betrayals, well, this would be on the top 10 best anime sweaty fucks. The game was downright unenjoyable. It made new players shy away from ever wanting to play War Thunder again. And why does the freaking XP requirement at low BR have to be so high if you want to get expert to get extra crew points or some shit like that? Like max crew stats or some shit like that. Why does it have to be a massive grind? Like, look at that right there. The Tupolev 2, the Su-6, the Focke-Wulf 190, and the I-185. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 fucking players on one bomber. I should literally just say it. The event's over, you slaves. There's no fucking events going on anymore. With all this bullshit going on, they make it look so unappetizing, so unethically interesting, so unwanted. I'm better off just slamming straight into the floor. No, you can go to hell. I'm just going straight into the ground. Punk ass loser. Like, it's sweaty fucking bitches like that that just straight up ruined freaking games like this. I'm gonna put this all in caps, dog. SPECT. That was fucking sad. 10 planes for one dive bomber. Shake my fucking head, dude. The disrespect. Seriously, that was some seriously disrespectful ass shit. Oh, he wants to go for another run. Go ahead, asshole. Right here. The amount of disrespect these little assholes did. 10 fucking planes for a single fucking dive bomber. The disrespect on that shit, dude. seriously, dude. 10 fucking planes for one dive bomber. Disrespect, man. That amount of disrespect is completely unacceptable. You need 10 people to blow up one dive bomber. The amount of disrespect that was, man. The amount of motherfucking disrespect.
Somebody cover me!
You needed 10 people to handle one person.
Somebody cover me!
That is some sad shit.
The enemy's getting closer to the tree. Good hit.
Oh, looks like I broke my engine. This is the time they had to get the hell out of that thing. They could crawl out and live. That was just, I don't know how to put it, but in a way that was a bit aggravating. You needed 10 people to handle one dive bomber. In a way, it's incredibly aggravating, it's disrespectful. It's a lot of fucking things. Alright, bitch, I'm not interested. He was, but I'm not. Goodbye. I'm not interested. Man, dude. Que vergüenza. You needed that many just to take one plane. The dude wasn't even carrying an arsenal. I hope my kids, if they ever play a game that's like this in the future, that they're not like assholes. Oh, the bomber. Oh, the bomber. Oh. Look at that. That was a sink. Not bad. This one turned out well. Oh well. I guess nobody's watching, so I guess that means I can fart if I wanted to. Call out my girlfriend, maybe she'll fart on the mic. Guess I'm all by myself. Doesn't matter. You know, I appreciate people who came by. So if I'm all alone on the stream, that's alright too. Ugh. Man. That was a craptastic game. I mean, look at that. Them results were devastating. Look at that. You see that right there? Worthless. Worthless. Not really as worthless, but it's still worthless. Could jump into a 5.7 battle at realistic. Probably gonna have better chances and odds by having it there. I also should have thought about where I was placing my Tupolev, because I gotta make that money or make another deductible in order to place that Tupolev where one of these are at, because it's not gonna work out in my favor if my Tupolev is currently, you know, where my fighter jet is at. What is that, a 5.3? The AR2. Nope. Don't need no Yak 9 double chins, bruh. 5.3. There we go. 4.7 for the Euro 2 ACH-30B. It's got the massive payload. And then you got the Peshika 210. It's got 4 250-pound bombs, and this one only holds duos. I'm surprised because the Tupolev 2S, it only holds duos. It can hold 9 Fab 100s, a single Fab 1000, a Fab 1000 with a double 250 SVs, or a single Fab 1000 with 250 SVs with the 500 SVs. But that's about it. But it can't hold the Fab 1000 with the 2 Fab 500s with 2 Fab 250s. Even though it is capable of lifting this amount of ordnance, or holding 2 Fab 500s on both sides, making 2,000 kilograms plus the 1,000 on the side, on the main side. Either way, it should still be capable of holding that amount of ordnance, but it doesn't let it do that. Alright, let's go ahead and go into a ground realistic if, you know, for the IS-1. Since I only have one copy of this loser tank, we're going to have to go ahead and do a little bit of trimming. I'm going to activate 2 of these boosters. So I can come back in, Yak 9U, Peshika 210, 110. Well, one of these tanks got to give way or something like that, but let's go ahead and take the old IS-1 with the big dumb guy here. Part of the Pancake Store logo is cut out, but you know, he'll be fine. Those eyes aren't looking that way because he's retarded. They're looking that way because he's filled with inspiration. So, you know, the eyes are faced, you know, different directions. It's not because he's dumb. It's because he's filled with inspiration and pure happiness. He doesn't have a single evil thought in his mind. You know, inspiration isn't always supposed to have a certain shape. You know, I'm surprised this IS-1 is even in this VR, considering the amount of armor penetration it has. It's rather atrocious, the amount of firepower this thing is carrying. And the only thing that deals decent damage or decent armor penetration would be the APCR. And that's a terrible trade-off. APCR, which has no explosive mass, puts like maybe a hole puncher size hole inside of your hull. Sure, it's a kinetic munition, but it's not a good kinetic munition. Yes, hello. Hello. I'd like to place an order for 3 pounds of toast. Because this tank is going to be toast. I give it about 30 more seconds before I get blown up. Before somebody with a shitty EBR shows up in the battle using their cheap ass tank to conquer the battlefield. They should bump the EBR to 8.0 or 9.0 so that way it's not at low tier being used at higher tiers. Since the EBR is a high mobility vehicle, it should literally be bumped up to like 9.0, around that range. And no BR lower. All form factors of the EBR should be treated at 9.0. You know, for security reasons, to ensure that the BR functions. The T55A is no longer at 8.3 where it sat respectfully. The T55A has been bumped down to 8.0. The sudden BR change means that there's issues, or maybe people don't like it. Or maybe it's not popular enough at the BR it was already at. Maybe it wasn't popular enough with Krabu. What the fuck was that, dude? What the actual fuck? There was no way you could hit me. I was already behind damn cover. What kind of fucking dog shit cheating crap was that, dude? I'm saying this game is fucking flat out broken. There's nothing fucking useful about it. Might as well switch over. The game's already gonna piss me off again. I'm already not happy. So I'm probably gonna have to fucking kick this bullshit off of the fucking network or something, man, because it's definitely not a happy place right now. I don't know how I lived through that, and I don't want to know either. What, you can't see the bastard over there? It almost makes me want to go French air. Almost makes me want to go French air. How is this guy even on my team? I don't know. Minus 20 seconds, I give up. know, it's like every time I start making some money in this game, I always end up in this BS situation. Where I end up in these really shit games where I go RB and I end up in these really shit games with a shit map, and then I get bumped up to like 6.3. Even when I'm trying to just roll a straight 5.3, it'll bump me up to 6.3 or 6.7. So what the hell is the point in putting me in the fucking game? If you were just gonna rob me of my hard-earned silver lions. Yeah, I'm fucking done. I don't want to fucking play this garbage. I'm done. This BS stream right here for this game is over. I'm switching over to freaking Fallout 76. Fuck this. That was some fucking hogwash, fucking Hogwarts garbage. And yeah, fuck the guy who made Harry Potter 2. He made a decent movie, but the retard who was signing off, what was it, autographs for books? Fuck him. That guy was a complete asshole. Oh, I'm going to sit in front of the goddamn main checkout line to the fucking library. Oh, you want to check out a book? Well, you have to go through me first. You have to let me sign that book. Fuck off. Alright, well, that ends this stream, which left me pretty pissed off, so we're going to switch over to Fallout 76. And later today, I'm going to try to play some Desert Skies. If anyone's interested in joining me on Terraria for the late night stream part, let me know. You can leave it in the discussion part of my channel, which is open. However, I do not like it when people like to post links involving nothing associated with my current status of my account. So if you're not subscribing to me or giving me a decent comment or anything like that, do not give or post links. Because people are trying to post teeny URLs and links with all this crazy stuff that leads you to freaking porn virus websites or whatever you call them. And that's getting rather annoying. Because they're targeting my channel and they're targeting other people's channels, which are resulting in loss of subscribers. And the general demographic is generally collapsing on YouTube. Because these assholes are actually Twitch members. I watch Twitch videos, don't get me wrong, but I'm not about to, you know, let somebody post links. You need to ask for permission. And even then, you need to prove with real evidence on a live feed that that link doesn't lead to a strange porn website or straight to a virus. Because I've already had people tell me weird links being posted and then where it took them. Like and subscribe. I'll be back with Fallout 76, hopefully with a decent or better lobby. And I'm going to do it for maybe 2 hours in order to recover some power cores. Alright, thanks for tuning in for this stream. I'll be back in like 10-15 minutes. Because I got to go associate myself with the dummies in my home and probably take a shower. Have a great morning, afternoon, night, midnight, lunch, breakfast, etc. I'm going to have to cut this intro short because I got to go do this. Alright, y'all have a good day. I'll be back with a refreshed mind after a shower. Have a great day or night, morning, evening, late afternoon,